Too loud.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sometimes my microphone goes in and out. I've had issues with it the last few weeks. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me all right. It's almost 7:30. I'll give people a minute or two. Do you have any specific questions about about anything? Uh, Let me know too. I think right now we have about 11 people just training remotely, all straight remote. So that and one, two, three, four, five of those people were in our last program that was all remote. So we do have some that are returning back, but then we got like 60 that are new. So we're going to go over some things, make sure you guys are comfortable, or at least try to get you somewhat situated with Training Tilt a little bit, because you guys will probably be using it a lot more than some of the others. This is kind of your hub to see what's going on. Okay, so I just want to make sure you're at least getting what you need to get out of it. That's why we have a weekly Zoom meeting and the other people don't, because they have some contact with people throughout the week. They come across coaches or me, myself, at different group runs and that. So we don't have a Zoom meeting. We just have a big Zoom meeting every week on Sunday for everybody. But I want to have a special one every Wednesday at 7:30 for our remote trainers, for those people that I won't see ever. So I can at least see you every once in a while during the week, and then we can go from there. Uh, First off, glad you could join us. This is a 14-week program. I'm Bob Masters. I'm the one in charge of all of this. And this is kind of my little, we found this Training Tilt platform to reach out to people, during the pandemic when we have a Glass City Marathon here in town, if anyone's not from this area. And that got canceled. So all of our people that were training for it were kind of left in the lurch for about 6 weeks. So we started this up to kind of see them through. They could do their virtual marathons or whatever. And we could go that route. Okay. Now, we're called each team. The theme for this is All You Need Is Run. That's our team name. And from a Beatles song, obviously, All You Need Is Love. So every team, we have 11 teams. They're all divided up into pace groups, and we are our own team. The remote training group will be our own team. And so we're going to be called what the slogan is for the whole program. All you need is run. So that's our team. And then the rest of the teams have other Beatles songs named after them. And so that's how they'll deal with that. But we're gonna use ours that way. So we'll be we get the cool name, we get the program name. So that will be our team, because next week we start team challenges. And if you've never done the program before, each week there'll be a challenge presented to the team. And the team that does the best, gets points each week, and we score the team. And at the end of the 14 weeks, the team that wins will get some type of prize or something from Dave's Running Shop. And like, it could be a challenge. Like one was, how many sit-ups does each team do a week? Okay. So things like that, or how many hours of sleep were you able to average a week? We do all kinds of things. Water challenge, how many ounces each team drinks a week. So we'll do all kinds of challenges throughout the week. And so we're still going to be a team. We just won't, be together as the challenges usually are done on your own anyway. They're things that we encourage people to do outside of the running. Healthy lifestyle things. Could be an exercise activity. Could be something to do with a healthy lifestyle. We'll get into that at the Sunday meeting. Okay? So when I look through all of us that are doing the remote training, the two plans that everyone's using is either the novice plan, like to get you through the 13.1 miles. Maybe you've run 5Ks, maybe you've run some 10Ks here and there, and you want to try a half marathon distance. So this is the novice plan. Will get you there without breaking the bank on mileage. It's easy on the mileage. It gets you there nice and slowly. It doesn't try to take into account that maybe you do long runs or maybe you've run far. This is taking into account that maybe your longest run is 4 to 5 miles, if that. Okay, so around the 5K to 4 mile range, we're thinking most people are coming in at. And then we have the intermediate plan, which is about half. We're about split in half. So the intermediate plan is just our standard plan. What would you do? You're a trainer, you've run the half marathons before, maybe even marathons, and you just want a program here to get some structure. Maybe there's a virtual run you got coming up. Because we're hoping here in town, if you live in town, there's a half marathon in November, and that's our goal. Right now, the race director for Churchill's half marathon is hoping that still goes on. So even if you can't be here for it, we're going to try to put a virtual event with that, tagged along with that you can do at your own pace or at your own home if you can't make it to Churchill's. Or maybe you have one in your town, because I know we have some people from North Carolina in our remote training too. It's kind of cool. So anyway, let's go over a few things with the plan first, your week. That's what I like to do with you guys, is break down your week a little more. But as the Sunday meetings go along, I'll probably take care of that more in the Sunday meeting, and the remote training meeting will be some different things for us. But just if you're going through your week, the intermediate and the novice plan, they both look like that. Let me make the intermediate plan a little bigger for y'all. There, that should be a little better. Yeah, that's even bigger. This is our novice plan. So those of you that fall into that category, this is what you'd be doing this week. Now, you might not have done the time trial yet. That's fine. You can do it anytime this week. What I would ask you to do is to put it in your athlete's notes, and then I can see the time, and then I can begin to build paces for you. Okay? Now, those of you that haven't used Training Tilt before, you're probably saying, what are athlete's notes? I'm going to show you that. I didn't get to show that on Sunday. We were really rushed. I felt bad. So I'm using my wife as a guinea pig. So she said I could. She's in the program, but she's here. So she's doing the novice plan too, which is good, because then we can kind of track along with her. All right. Let me see if I can bring hers up real quick. It takes a little longer. But the novice plan, you have that 5K this week time trial. That's your main thing to do. The other plan has another workout in there, but you can see the time trials in yellow here. And I put it on Thursday for the novice plan, but the great thing is you can move these days around, especially for you doing remote training. You have the luxury of being able to do any of these things during the week, where we meet like once a week for a workout, and then they meet on Saturday for the long run. You could, if you had to do the long run on Wednesday because you're going out of town for the weekend, you could do that. Okay. But anyway, let's say, here's your time trial right here. Let's say you do it tomorrow, Thursday. If you click on it, it'll pop up like that, and it'll explain everything to you. Then you see up here these tabs. I don't know if you want to do a video, but you don't have to. But in the comments, you can go in here, and what'll happen is when you link your Strava or Garmin to it, you'll get a readout on here. It'll give your Strava link or whatever, and then you can type underneath. You can type in here how it went, and this is going to be our main form of communication for workouts. So this is why I want to look at this a little bit more. Since I won't see you on workout days or long run days, those would be the days I kind of really look at, would be your long runs and your workouts for the novice plan, some of your longer runs. And you just type in your notes here, how it went, what your splits were would help. If they don't come up on the analyze part, which is what you would sync. And then I type in over here, I can't right now because there's nothing over here for me, but I would type in here my comments back to you. So I would give you some feedback, let you know, great job today, keep it up, or, how it's going, whatever the case may be, just so you can get some contact one-on-one with myself. Okay. So like if you go back, let's look at one of her runs here. We'll go back to Tuesday, yesterday, and you can see that's where her things linked up. And her coach even came in and commented for her, gave her a comment, and that's what it linked up. Now, if we go to analyze, that's where your Garmin and Strava come into play. It'll show everything on here from me. So I can see where you ran from. It's not that important to me, but you can see what you did, your heart rate. I kind of pay attention to heart rate for people and your timeout, the distance you covered, and things like that. And so we look at those things. So I'll be looking at that, and that's why if I get feedback from you, the more feedback I get, the more I can give you. So take advantage of that. That's the big thing for you guys doing the remote training. You want to take advantage of those notes back and forth for us, so I can make adjustments and things like that as we go along and see how you're doing.
Hey,
So
Bob, I had a quick question.
Go ahead. If you have a question, fire away.
Yeah, it's just about this. I use the Training Tilt app, and that pulls in information from Strava because I use my Apple Watch for my workouts, and Strava imports that information.
Right.
I was just wondering if does that sync with the desktop version as well of the Training Tilt program?
Yes, Strava will. Yeah, Strava. The easy. I was telling people because some people are having difficulties with Garmin, and you can't sync an Apple Watch to this, right? I tell people if you just sync with Strava, Strava's fairly easy with this. So if you're going through Strava, yeah, it'll dump into here too. So I will get it either on desktop or your app. And that's a good point to bring up. The app is a really nice version to see your calendar, and after you have everything set up to sync it. But everything for initial, like when you're gonna set up your syncing, whether it's through Garmin or Strava, I would use a desktop version. It's much easier to operate and sync it up correctly. His desktop version is a lot more, as we say, robust. The app has only been out for about a year or so, so he's still kicking out bugs and tweaking it a little. The app's nice when you're on the go to look at the chat and to look at the workouts themselves, but the desktop version is a lot easier to use, so to speak. But feel free, work with both of them. But yeah, I already saw what you had a couple days. I saw what you did yesterday and the day before because I probably commented. And that's the thing you'll notice too. You'll see when I comment, you'll get an email most likely. But over here on these tabs, you see, let me make this a little bigger because I don't know if you can see it real well. Blow up the screen a little bit for this. There we go. But you can see here, like there is a CN and an AN. The AN are yours as when you sync or when you do something. It's called athlete's notes. So whenever you sync or anything, it goes right into that little box that I showed you of athlete's notes. And then you'll know when I do something because then you'll see CN, coach's notes. And so that means I have responded back to you. So
Gotcha.
Even if you don't get emails, because that can be overwhelming at times, some people don't like all those emails. So you can shut those off and then just look at it and you'll see a CN if I come back to you. Okay?
Okay.
And that'll help you show that difference there. All right. I just wanted to make sure because that people will ask that too. What does that mean? Yeah, that's good. Okay. So we'll use that a lot. That'll be our our main way of communicating. So don't be afraid to get on there and complain about a workout or say how difficult it was or how easy it was, you know, any troubles you're having, and that's great. And I'm going to try to work something out with our PT staff to see if they can take any of your questions or any of your concerns. Like, let's say you're out running and you tweak your knee or something. I'm going to try to get it so they can, you have maybe a way to contact them and they can give you some feedback. Because we do have a couple of really good running PTs, licensed physical therapists for Mercy Health that work with our program. And that's available to you too. I just want to figure out a way to get you guys that access. Okay, because last time everybody had the same access, but now it's a little different with in-person and remotely. And they do a great job helping out. So we want to make sure you have that advantage too. Now, go back to the schedules then. So you have your plans here. And another good thing with this is, so let's say you can't do your time trial today, you can drag these around. You can move these to different days. You can take the 5K and drag it over to here, put it on Friday. They got a stick in there, and I can move my rest day over to Thursday. So you can drag these around before you do them if you know what your week's going to be like. If you have a busy schedule or something, you know what days are going to be best. You can always do that too. What I would avoid, what I discourage, is what I did there was 2 rest days in a row. You definitely want to spread out the harder days. You don't want to do back-to-back hard days either. You don't want to do back-to-back rest days unless there's an emergency or something. You know, you want to try to get them in and space it out so you give your legs recovery and you're ready to go for the next workout. Okay? So let's go back quickly. So everyone's going to do their time trial, whether it's novice or intermediate. And if you could, and if it doesn't post in Training Tilt, doesn't sync up your time, let me know. Okay? Because I want to know your time so we can then to begin to develop some paces for you guys for your workouts. Okay? And then the rest of the week for what I do is for the novice plan, you will do minutes during the week for most of your runs, but on the weekend, we want to do mileage because eventually I want you to be able to run 13.1 miles. So we need to make sure we got one good long run in of just mileage so we know where we're at. Because if I just tell you, go out for 30, 40 minutes, you might only get 3.4. Someone else might get 4.7. So we want to make sure everybody is on the same track getting to that 13.1 mile. So that's why Saturday is purely mileage. So whether you do 4 miles, whether it takes you 40 minutes or whether it takes you an hour, we're going to know that you got 4 miles in at least. Okay. And then the rest are all times. And then you see the workout here, the time trial. You can do that at your own whenever you got time for that this week. And then the intermediate plan, your secondary workout isn't just another run. It's a little bit of a harder run. You have a fartlek this week. If you don't know what that is, I put an explanation in Training Tilt. It's in the files section. Basically where you go out and if you see there, that one says 6 miles with 8 times 3 on, 1 off. So you would run, a little bit of a warm up and then 8 times 3 on, 1 off are minutes. So you do 3 minutes on, 1 minute off, 8 times. So that's 3 on, 1 off is 4 minutes total. Times that by 8, that's 32 minutes. So that's part of the 6 miles. So maybe you only warm up a mile and cool down a mile, and that 32 minutes in there, maybe you run 8-minute pace, you're a quicker runner. So that would be your fartlek. Okay. What I tell people is warm up a mile, do the workout, and then whatever's left over, cool down. So if you warm up a mile, do the workout, it takes you another 5 miles, and you got 6 miles in, and just cool down for a few minutes and you're done. It depends on how much you have left over to get to 6. But the 3 on means you're going to run 3 minutes hard at a nice hard pace. Not a sprint where you got to stop at the end, but just a nice gradual, nice comfortable hard pickup. Because on the 1 off, I want you to try to return to your normal running pace. I don't want you to do a shuffle jog or have to walk, unless you're in that type of plan, the novice plan where you're going to walk run. Because novice runners will eventually be doing these fartleks too. So 3 on, 1 off, you want to go at your own hard pace. This helps you learn how to develop a pace within yourself. okay? What you know is hard and you're not killing yourself in the process. So you want to be able to do all 8 of them, you know, at a decently hard pace, but you don't want to get done, you know, and you got your hands on your knees and you're gasping for air. We don't want that at this point. You just want a nice, hard 3-minute pickup and then back off for a minute and then do it again, 3 minutes hard, and repeat that 8 times, okay? And then you see the intermediate plan. Your long run is already 7 miles. We're going to do a healthy long run on Saturdays for these plans, just because there's no racing hardly going on. And a lot of people gave me feedback from the last time that they wanted to have, you know, this half marathon, since there's no real marathon to train for. A lot of them wanted to do a little bit more distance than we normally would. Normally for a half marathon plan, we only go up to about 11 miles or so, but they wanted to do a bigger long run on the weekends just because there are no races going on. So we put that into this plan. You can always adjust. You don't have to go that far if you don't feel comfortable going 15 miles eventually by the end. You can do 10, 11. That's good enough for a half marathon. But we'll get into that as we progress through too, see how everyone's feeling. Okay, but you're also doing the time trial right here also. The difference between your time trial is you're warming up for a mile and cooling down for a mile, so you get 5 miles total. Whereas our novice plan is only doing a 5-minute warm-up, no matter what you get. So if it takes you a half mile to get 5 minutes, a quarter mile to get 5 minutes, whatever, you're just doing a 5-minute warm-up and then a 5-minute cool down. So obviously, unless I got someone on this group who is a sub 5-minute miler, or really, really fast and can run a mile in 5 minutes just for a warm-up, you're going to impress me. I'll be interested in seeing those stats. So just a nice 5-minute warm-up for you guys. Nice and easy. Warm-ups are always nice and easy, just to shake the legs out. Okay? And then what we'll get into then is this next. When I find your 5K, when I see your 5K time and I begin to get paces for you, this is what it's all going to be based off of right here. Okay? And this is all, has everything, your easy pace, your half or full marathon pace, which is what we'll eventually get into for some of you, threshold pace, interval pace, repetition pace. And they're all explained for you. And even the long run down here, I kind of talk about, you know, how you want to treat the long run. Again, this is also in your file section in Training Tilt. So you can go over that whenever you want, but that's what I'll be basing everything off of when I give you splits and times in that. Okay? Fartlek, you won't get splits from me. I'm a firm believer in that you need to run hard. That's it. Just whatever you feel is hard for you. Okay? So it helps you learn a little bit more about how you run. Okay? So there won't be paces for fartlek, but everything else, you know, you have a pace for. Okay? And we'll dig into that more as we get through this week, and I see what your times are in that. So don't worry about that. Okay. So when I was talking about all these files, in case you weren't here for the other meeting, let me see. There it is. Your files. It says My Files. You click on it. You'll see all the files I've been. Might be shared files. Sorry, because I'm giving them to you. Yeah, that's it. Let me make sure I got them. Takes a minute. But anyway, while it's loading up. So if you ever have questions too, you have my email. Always feel free to email me. Since I don't see you face to face, I want to make sure you guys get the same treatment as everyone else, because they run into their coaches all the time. There it goes. So I want to make sure you guys, if anything's confusing you, we get it squared away and you're all set in that respect. But these will be all the files. They're in shared files, sorry, because I'm giving you the files. But anyway, the hard copy of the plans are here if you ever want to print one off. I explained the fartlek here, you see. You can go into that and get more of an explanation. You guys don't even have to worry about this. This is the meeting time schedule for the track and the long runs. Then there's the advanced plan if you ever want to take a look. But your plan, the intermediate, and the novice plan are right here. You don't have to worry about group run protocol. The pace chart I just showed you is right here. The training coupons are right here. If you're in town, you can bring them into the store. If not, I emailed the code you can use online if you want to get shoes online from Dave's or anything else. I can send it again. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but we do have that. And then the dynamics, if you didn't check these out yet, you click on that. These are what you want to do before you run. It's the PT, Jeff and Dana. It's their view of stretches. So, I didn't know it was downloading. There we go. But anyway, it just shows you some basic dynamics to go through. These are not just static stretches. You're going to go through these. These loosen you up. These aren't stretching you out really. These are loosening the joints up. These are getting motion going on in your legs, because a lot of times you sit around at work maybe, or you're not really that, doing a whole lot, and then you go out and run. This will get everything loosened up and ready to go. Not necessarily stretching muscles, but the joints and flexibility and all that you need, so you don't get hurt. Because most of the time you're either warming up before a workout or starting out easy on a run, and your muscles loosen up that way. Then you can do static stretches when you're done. The normal calf stretch against the wall, or putting your leg up to stretch your hamstring, things like that. But that's here too for you to use before you run. Okay? And then the other section, and I'll keep adding to this as we go through. And those PTs I was talking to you about, Jeff and Dana, that we're going to give access to you guys too, they do a lot of our videos. This is them here in the choosing the right running shoe video. So, and I'll be posting videos. If you ever miss a Zoom meeting, the Sunday one, I put them up here. Our meetings on Wednesdays, I will email out to everybody. So if you can't make it, it does get recorded, and then I will send it out, just in case you want to make sure you don't miss anything. All right, so that's completely up to you. One other thing too that some of you may not be aware of, let's see if I can find it real quickly. We have a training page for, let's see if I have it up. I might have it up. No. Okay. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm not. But let's bring it up. It's Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, we have our own training page that has all of our runners in it, all of our groups, everybody. So if you're not a part of it, just send an invite for Dave's training groups. And you see I put a little announcements on here. People post a lot of things. And we just get different things from different people. It's a good way to be more social outside of our little group here. And that's up to you. But what I will do is I do a lot of our communication like daily. If I want to chat to you guys, I will be doing it in here in Training Tilt. But I will go to the social groups, and that's us, because that's our name. Our name is, remember, if you don't remember, all you need is run. That's our name, all right? If you go in the social groups, you see all of them there. And I see, I got to kick people out, so I got people that are joining it out, but they can join it. But I want you guys to join this one for sure. Okay, that's our remote training group. That way, when I put an announcement on, like, hey, today, have a good day, or, tell me what's going on today, or I want you to do something, you can open it up right here, and this is our own private chat. This will just be between our group, okay, and anyone else that's in it. So, you open it up. I don't think we have anything going on right now. I wanted to have this meeting before I push that out. But yeah, you click on it, and it opens right up. And then that way, if you have a specific question, and you don't want to wait for an email, see, you're already on it. All right. So you can just put it in there, and then I'll get to it. Right. So and you're on your own. That's perfect. Good. So the remote training, you can do yours tomorrow. Would be a great day if you didn't do it already. You got to wait till the weekend, get it done on the weekend. That's fine too. That's up to you guys. But yeah. Good question though. Now, before we sign off for today, do I have any questions from you guys I can help you out with? Feel free to unmute yourself. If you can't figure it out, I can. Or if not, we'll be good.
For the long run on Saturday, I just wanted to know about, hydration, because I guess 5 miles, I haven't really run continuously 5 miles. So it's just how much do we need to take? Because I don't want to stop and have to go to the bathroom or anything like that. So it's just something.
Right. Well, you know, you want to, before, you obviously want to be hydrated before you go out, you know, and go running. The basic premise, we had a big discussion on this in our last group meetings because it was so hot. It's been so hot. It's been pretty hot this summer, but we were saying you want to drink daily at least half your body weight, roughly, in water. So that should be a daily intake. You don't have to go crazy more because it's hot. You will need to take in more because you're going to sweat out more, but about half your body weight in water. And if you're going to run early on Saturday, do your long run one of the early mornings, it won't be as hot, but it'll be as humid. You know, as long as you hydrate the night before. And I always recommend people, a lot of people, do you carry a water thing with you when you're running? Like, you know, how they have those handheld water containers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I would take that with you if you have one, you know, water belt, whatever you have, and then you have it to at least, you know, sip every 15 minutes. I tell people you should be taking in this weather, you should be taking in liquid, you know, a good 6 to 8 ounces every 15 minutes while you're out there.
Okay.
And a lot of times once you get going and your body heats up and begins to sweat, a lot of times it shuts off that urination mechanism because now your body is losing the water that way through all that sweat. So it usually shuts off your urge to have to go to the bathroom. Now, if you have to go beforehand, it's not going to shut it off, but while you're out on the run, it'll probably shut it off because you're now sweating all that fluid out. Okay.
Right. Okay.
But that's a good thing to do. I would definitely carry it with you if you're someone who's going to be out for a while and needs that water, for sure.
Okay.
Or at least find a water fountain. I never carried it, but I would leave it at my car and I would do loops and come back and take a drink from out of my car and then go back out. So whatever works for you. There are other ways to get around it if you don't carry water with you. But that's a good question because it's still warm out for a lot of us. Any other questions?
Hey, Bob, this is Clark. I'd be there, but I live in Pennsylvania. I used to live in Perrysburg, and I miss you guys. So,
great.
If Churchill's does run, I'll be there. And I also just wanted to say thank you to you for being so thoughtful to bring us all together. So thanks.
No problem. This is something that we were really proud of doing, trying to reach out to people and make sure we keep people going and motivated, moving through this. And we got our fingers crossed for Churchill's.
Yeah. I hope it runs. Anyway, okay. Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys, we're going to run out of time in a few minutes. So, again, if you get to any workouts and you're struggling with something or you got a question, by all means, reach out to me. Social feed here. How do you say, is it Padma? Is that how you pronounce it? Padma? Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Like Padma here, reach out to me and I'll get back to you. Especially your training program. I think I checked in on everyone and you have the right program. Some glitches were happening, but I think I double checked everyone on here and everyone looks good. So, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love doing this stuff, so it's not going to be an inconvenience. All right?
Thank
All right,
you.
guys. Good luck with your 5Ks, and let me, post that time so I can get it from you and get some patience. All right?
Thanks, Bob.
All right. Have a good week. We'll see you Sunday if you get out to the Zoom meeting.